Today we have a basketball shoe. Can you guess which one?
Aren't they gonna know off the thumbnail?
Ah, fuck. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, my name is Chris. Welcome to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we're taking a look at these guys right here. This is the ANTA GH1. I'm kind of excited. I do have the shoe already. Clearly, what I meant was I've had a pair of the shoes already, and I've tried to play in these, and they're stiff as shit. For those of you guys curious, this is the Barbershop Edition, and it came in a weird case. It's like a barbershop bag almost, where like you would keep your clippers, your scissors, your comb, all that stuff. And it's supposed to represent the place where Gordon Hayward likes to get his haircut. This one's a little bit different in the sense that it has his face logo right there, whereas on the other shoe it has the GH1 logo. And then the Celtics colorway, or just the regular colorway, because this was a limited pair, they both have the GH logo. There's no face on them or anything like that. Also, behind the tongue, size label, size tag, like a normal shoe almost. Sometimes they're on the sides, but whatever. And then these guys, it has the barbershop stuff. So it's a little bit different. The uppers on these guys also different. This is more of a premium version of the shoe where it's got actual suede on the toe. They've wrapped it on this little lateral wing right there, and then the upper is a jacquard knit. And again, the shoes is really stiff. These don't feel as stiff as these guys, so I'm hoping that these will play better, because I tried to play in these, man. They were digging into my feet in certain areas, like right in here, and these feel a little bit softer or a little bit more forgiving. So I'm gonna complete testing in these, at least I hope so. Now, as far as the tech specs go, we have a really cool outsole right here. This guy, it has like this really cool milky translucent rubber. I'm really hoping that this grips well, because I was like really expecting these to grip well, being that they're gum and all of that stuff, and I was sliding all over the place.
You should talk about the specs with that one. It's hard to see on the milky. At least on this camera it is.
Oh, is it getting washed?
Yeah.
My bad. For anybody curious, this is what the outsole looks like in case you can't see it on these guys. And what we have here is multiple little spirals and stuff. So it's multi-directional traction. And then the rest of it is supposed to be tiger stripes. The rubber on this pair, like I was saying, I was sliding all over the place. Granted, the court that I was playing on, everybody was sliding. However, that same evening, I changed out of these into my Kyrie 6s because I love that shoe. And I was no longer sliding. People were sliding in the KDs. People were sliding in the Kobe 4 Pro Tros. Kyrie 6s were smooth, or I should say money. Smooth in tails that maybe I was sliding to, but I wasn't. Now, moving up to the midsole, we have ANTA's A-Flash foam, and it's full length. It's a little bit firmer than what I'm used to on the previous models. And by previous models, I mean the KT line. That's pretty much what I've been using this type of cushioning setup for. So this guy feels a little bit firmer than that, a little bit more stable, comfortable underfoot. I dig it. A little bit of bounce back, not quite boost level. Like the first iteration was on like the KT4,
I believe so,
with a knitted upper, and then it had it like exposed in the back. That was so bouncy, it was crazy. So I was glad that they had that support wing on there. This guy right here, it only cages it right in the forefoot, and again, in that barbershop colorway, that wing was super stiff. I don't know why, because this one just in hand feels way softer. So I'm hoping that it flexes better, because the other one where it pokes up right here, it was just digging into my foot anytime I'd make any kind of lateral move, and it was super uncomfortable. But that is the cushion specs. It is full length, like I was saying, so it's nice that they give you that type of cushion for the price point, because these are just above $100, I'm pretty sure. They are $99.99. Does that count as 100? I would count it. I said just above. That's with shipping.
Oh yeah, it would totally be above. And tax?
There's no tax.
What?
This is from Famuji Sneaker.
So they don't have tax coming in?
They're from China.
Alrighty then.
I'm looking over here right now too. They're in two colorways available right now, this one being one of them. I thought that they were sending the other pair, which is the white with the teal. The more I look at them, I actually kind of like those, but I did not like them initially because they like really accentuate the tiger thing. And I like, this goes back to the whole thing, what video was it? The team colors. I cannot remember the video. We just uploaded it. When we figure it out, we'll put it right here with a little annotization thing over there, so you can go check it out. But basically, I'm a stickler for getting signature shoes in their respective team colorways first. And I think that all of the energy colorways and all the weird colorways, the storytelling colorways, the peanut butter and jelly colorways, all that kind of stuff is cool after the fact, but I want the initial colorway to be like, yeah, he plays for Boston. This is clearly Boston. These don't count, by the way. They did release, but it was so limited. I think there were like 500 pairs. I don't even count this as a real drop. And then as far as the upper is concerned on these guys, I actually like the way that this one's set up a little bit more than the barbershop colorway. The toe cap right here, I don't believe it's real leather. I believe it is synthetic, but it's really, really soft synthetic. It's got a great texture to it as well. So while I do prefer legit leathers, suedes, all of that stuff, this kind of stuff right here, I don't mind synthetic being used as long as it's a really good synthetic. If it feels or mimics leather perfectly, then I'm cool with that. Otherwise, why not just use leather? Because some of the plastic stuff, like what's around the trim right here, very stiff, and I don't like that. That's just a personal preference of mine. Some people actually do like the stiffer material because they're bigger athletes, but for me personally, I like it to break in and feel like a leather if you're not going to use leather. And that's exactly what they did right here. I love the little stitch line. It's just a little weird design element, but I just like it. Like normally you would have the cut and it would be stitched on, and you would see the cut, you would see the grain or whatever the inside is, and you don't hear. It's a really interesting look. The back half of the sneaker is not a jacquard like the Barbershop colorway. This is the standard stuff. So this is what you're going to see on every other release, which is again why I'm glad that I waited, because I just feel like this whole shoe is just not quite the same as this one. So limited. It's ridiculous that they did it like that to kind of introduce the shoe, and on top of that, these are ugly. But the rest of the shoe right here, it's kind of almost got a ripstop look, but it's not ripstop material. It's just a lightweight mesh. And then what I really like is that underneath that, the tiger stripes, the green accents, it's actually made to mimic the jersey, like what they actually wear, their uniforms on court. And I think that that's really dope. Like I think that that's a cool little touch. It ties this shoe not just to the athlete in the sense that it's the athlete's sneaker, but also in the sense that this is like an NBA style product. And I think that that's just a nice touch. I haven't seen this in a long time. They also used to do this on trading cards. When the basketball cards were super popular, they'd have some cards with a little piece of the uniform on the card.
That's cute.
It's really dope. I don't know if they still do that. If they did, that would be cool. Now the construction of this upper is very interesting. It's made up of, I was gonna say 2 components, but it's actually 3, because this one is kind of separate but not. So we have that outside layer, the mesh and the toe area kind of like seamed together. And then the second layer is the tongue area. It's really hard to see. I don't know if I'm gonna even be able to showcase it, but like my finger is inside of this weird cover, and they stitched it onto the upper, but it doesn't stretch or anything. So it's like super weird that it's there. It's like a blanket. And then they have these weird bungee things on top that are not bungees. They're just nylon. They're very weird. It looks like the thing that wraps around a girl's leg and you're supposed to take it off with your teeth when you're married.
A garter?
Sure, that's what it looks like to me, and I'm not f***ing with it because that has no function. Now underneath that, which is where you can see this seam line right here of the fuse, where it's from the upper to the interior upper, this is all like one shell and everything. The tongue is attached to that layer in a kind of like booty setup. It's very cool in the fact that it's molded. It's like a micro molded mesh, and I really like the way that it looks. I like the way that it feels. Inside you also have some stuff that almost looks like jersey material, but it's not, just regular mesh. And then you have like really nicely molded interior ankle collar for cuppage of your Achilles, and I really like the way that that is. I just don't like this weird tonguey section. I would just prefer like this to be 2 separate things so that you can really cinch the upper up without everything looking like this afterwards. You also have a pull tab right there. It's not super functional, just because it's not attached to this piece, and that's the piece that can fold down. And then the heel counter is really cool. I really like the way that they put the ANTA logo in there. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, I went true to size. That's what I'd recommend. Both of my pairs are true to size. They fit perfectly from a lengthwise perspective. I'm hoping that these things, again, are not quite as stiff as the other ones on court, but stay tuned and we'll get a performance review out. I was gonna say as soon as possible, but there are so many. It's only January. What the f?
All right, so remind me about Gordon Hayward. Wasn't he originally very like shabby looking?
Not shabby looking, he was just gangly.
And then he had like this pretty woman moment in a barbershop or something, and
he got his hair cut and he grew a beard. Okay, and I tell this to every guy, all right? If you want to look like a man, grow a beard.
because it looks good.
It really does. It'll make the ugliest motherfucker look legit, dude. I'm serious. It hides the ugly. Look.
Shut up.
What?
Oh, gosh. But no, a nice beard.
Yeah, man. Just grow some facial hair. It'll go a long way. I feel bad for the guys that can't.
I just think it's hilarious that this guy, he gets a shoe and he's like, guys, I need to tell my Cinderella Pretty Woman story.
I don't know whose idea that was, but, you know, whatever. He came in the league. He was the baby-faced, kind of like white boy, and he was gangly looking. He's got muscle now, got a cool haircut.
Yeah, my first introduction to the guy was you were watching a YouTube video and he was doing a whole interview inside of a barbershop while he got a haircut.
Yeah, and now he's in Boston. He was drafted by Utah. What do you think about these? I thought you said you had some shit to talk, or was that it?
That was it.
Oh, that wasn't even
more
know.
about this particular version of the shoe.
Oh man, on feet they look sick from my perspective.
Oh,
The
okay.
toe down view, like this look mad clean
I knew you would like that though.
because of the toe cap.
Yes.
Yeah, I just
you
like
and your
that stuff.
questions and your 11s and
They are kind of question-like.
so that's a very you feature.
These are dope. I really like clean toes, like, or with like a weird line on them and all that stuff. No. Shoe toes, okay?
Has he played in these?
He's been playing in these ones, I believe.
Okay, so maybe this is just like a decorative piece. Like you're not even supposed to be running around on court.
Maybe, I don't know. I just feel like if you make a shoe, make it a shoe.
The display was very cool.
Oh,
whole
like the
bag,
packaging?
Yeah.
No, it was cool, but I don't care.
It's like a travel bag.
It was very strange, honestly, but it was cool. Thank you to Anta, by the way, for sending these. These are from Famuji, though, so if you were interested in buying these, again, they're available in 2 colorways. We do have a promo code. We'll leave that in the link in the description. And that's pretty much it, but if you want to wait for the performance review, feel free. Otherwise, if you're a Gordon Hayward fan and you wanted to grab these, or you're a Celtics fan and you want to grab these, again, this colorway is available now along with the other one that's not Celtics-based. That's the way to do it. That's how the
Have one of each.
That's how the Kobe 5 did it.
Yeah.
The day after Christmas, the Laker colorway, the away one, the black and purple and gold, and then the Chaos side by side released. That way Laker fans could get theirs, weirdos could get theirs, and I'm just kidding, okay? I like the Chaos colorway. I just only could afford one at the time. Because if I could have afforded 2, I would have bought both of them. She's sitting there being like, just kidding. And that pretty much takes care of it for these guys right here. Hopefully they play well. We'll find out soon enough. And until next time, guys, have a good one.